Democrat and astronaut Mark Kelly was sworn into the Senate today. And with him, it will be the first time in 67 years Arizona will have two Democratic senators. Mark Kelly won the special election against Senator Martha McSally, who was appointed to the seat after the death of John McCain in 2018. Both Kelly and Biden won the state, Kelly by 78,000 votes and Biden by a little more than 10,000 votes. And it's not a coincidence that the other senator from Arizona, Kristen Sinema, won the seat by 55,000 votes. Arizona has turned blue. It's still got some purple pitch in it, as the difference between the Democratic candidates and the Republican candidates has not yet firmly gone past the 3 percentage point, but it is slowly gravitating there. But hey, we are talking about Arizona, and that's a state that has been reliably red for decades, and that has changed in the last 5 years. The demographic composition of the state has changed, and the Hispanic community in the state has moved closer to the Democratic Party, while the Hispanics in Florida and Texas have moved closer to the Republicans. The Democratic victory, as the two Senate seats and the presidential win shows, Arizona has made its move towards the Dems, and it will be their responsibility to keep the state blue over the next 2 decades. Not an impossible task. And this state will play a crucial role in bridging the gap between Republicans and the Democrats in the Senate. And there is one advantage that has come to the forefront with Mark Kelly's appointment. Some of Donald Trump's allies have openly floated the idea to challenge the electoral vote counting process at the joint session of the Congress on January 6th. Not just the Republicans, sometime back when Kerry was elected in 2004 and when John Kerry lost in 2004 and Hillary Clinton lost in 2016, some idiotic people on the Democratic side in the Congress tried to object to the vote counting process. But the problem they faced was to raise an objection to a slate from being counted. One member of the Congress and one member of the Senate has to provide a written opposition. If there is an opposition, the Congress will adjourn, it has to deliberate on the challenge and get back. Take a look at how Biden swats down multiple objections during the counting process in 2016.
Authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of New York received 29 votes for president and Michael R. Pence of the state of Indiana received 29 votes for vice president.
Ms. Klobuchar. For what purpose? For what purpose is member right?
I have an objection because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified because they violated Florida's prohibition against dual office holding.
Debate is out of order. Section 15 and 17 of the Title III of the United States Code require that any objection be presented in writing, signed by both members of the House of both a member of the House of Representatives and a senator. Is the objection in writing and signed not only by the member of the House of Representatives but also by a senator?
It is in writing, Mr. President.
Is it signed by a senator?
Not as of yet, Mr. President.
In that case, the objection cannot be entertained.
Thank you.
Senator Klobuchar.
Mr. President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Georgia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of New York received 16 votes for president, and Michael R. Pence of the state of Indiana received 16 votes for vice president.
What purpose, gentlewoman? What purpose, gentlewoman, rise?
Mr. President, I object to the certificate from the state of Georgia on the grounds that the electoral votes were not...
There's no debate. Section 15 and 17 of Title III of the United States Code require that any objection be presented in writing, signed by both a member of the House of Representatives and a senator. Is the objection in writing and not only signed by the member but by a United States senator?
Mr. President, even as people waited hours in Georgia...
There's no debate. And if there's not signed by a senator, the objection cannot be entertained.
Mr. President, the objection is signed by a member of the House, but not yet by a member of the Senate.
Well, it is over.
But things will be a lot different this time. Finding a member of the Congress to challenge the electoral vote counting process is not going to be difficult. And finding a senator to join them is going to be easy as well. Who does not want to be called as the true Trump supporter in this GOP? So if that happens, the joint session of the House and the Senate will take a break, deliberate, and then come out and reject the challenge. Now, what if the Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans, instead of rejecting the challenge, accepts it? We will have one big problem. That's where Mark Kelly's appointment will come in handy. On January 6th, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, the two Georgia senators' term will have expired, leaving the Republican Senate with literally no margin to sustain a challenge, as they will be left with a 50-48 majority. Mitt Romney and Susan Collins have already called Biden as the president-elect, and the Democrats will only need two Republican senators to side with them and reject challenges during the vote counting process. Romney's vote is a given, and so will be Susan Collins. So just in case, folks, if you are watching the counting process on TV, please don't panic. There is an extremely good chance that some Republicans will try to pull this trick, but it is not going to work. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe.